Among all fortified wines produced in the world, sherry is one of the oldest, most respected, and most distinctive. It originates from the Jerez region in southern Spain, often referred to as the Sherry Triangle, which includes the towns of Jerez de la Frontera, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, and El Puerto de Santa Maria. The word sherry is actually the English adaptation, anglicization, of the Spanish name, Jerez. Over centuries of international trade, the pronunciation gradually evolved into the name by which the wine is now known worldwide. Sherry is famous for its remarkable diversity. Depending on how it is aged and fortified, it can range from extremely dry and delicate to rich, sweet, and full-bodied. Unlike most wines, its unique character comes not only from the grapes but also from a special aging process called the Solera system, which ensures consistency and complexity year after year. Grapes used in sherry production. Although several grape varieties are permitted, 3 grapes form the foundation of almost every sherry produced today. 1. Palomino. The Palomino grape is the most important grape used in sherry production. Nearly 90% of all sherry wines are made from Palomino grapes because they have a neutral flavor profile that allows the aging process to create the wine's distinctive characteristics. Palomino grapes are mainly used to produce dry styles of sherry, such as Fino, Amontillado, and Oloroso. 2. Pedro Ximénez, PX. Pedro Ximénez, commonly abbreviated as PX, is one of the sweetest grape varieties used in winemaking. The grapes are often sun-dried before pressing, concentrating their natural sugars. PX wines are used to produce intensely sweet dessert sherries and are also blended with dry sherries to add sweetness, color, richness, and body before bottling. 3. Moscatel. The Moscatel grape is another naturally sweet variety. It contributes floral aromas, fruity sweetness, and golden color to sherry. Moscatel is used for producing sweet dessert sherries as well as for blending with other wines to enhance sweetness and flavor while keeping production costs comparatively lower. Fermentation and fortification. Immediately after harvesting, the grapes are crushed and pressed. The freshly extracted grape juice is transported to nearby wineries known as bodegas. A bodega is a specially designed wine cellar built specifically for sherry production. These buildings have thick walls, high ceilings, and large windows that allow constant air circulation while maintaining cool temperatures and stable humidity. The floors are frequently sprinkled with water to keep the atmosphere moist, creating ideal conditions for aging. Fermentation usually lasts for about 3 months, during which the grape sugars are converted into alcohol. At the end of fermentation, all sherries are initially produced as dry white wines containing approximately 10 to 14% alcohol. To convert them into fortified wines, grape brandy is added, increasing the alcohol level to around 15 to 20%, depending on the style being produced. The young fortified wine at this stage is known as añada. Classification of young sherry. After fortification, the young wine is stored in wooden barrels that are only partially filled, leaving space for air to enter. During maturation, experienced winemakers carefully observe each barrel and classify the wine according to its development. Initially, sherries are divided into 2 broad categories. Fino. Fino is pale in color, extremely light-bodied, fresh, crisp, and very dry. It develops a unique layer of yeast known as flor, which protects the wine from direct contact with oxygen. Because oxidation is prevented, Fino retains its delicate color, freshness, and elegant character. Oloroso. Some wines do not develop flor. Without this protective yeast layer, oxygen gradually interacts with the wine. This slow oxidation darkens the color, enriches the aroma, and creates a fuller, heavier body. These wines become Oloroso sherry. The flor yeast. One of the most fascinating aspects of sherry production is the development of flor. Flor is a natural layer of yeast that forms on the surface of certain wines approximately 18 to 24 months after fortification. Instead of spoiling the wine, flor protects it by preventing excessive oxidation. At the same time, it consumes certain compounds in the wine and creates delicate aromas resembling almonds, bread dough, and fresh herbs. This biological aging process is what gives Fino sherry its pale color, refreshing dryness, and distinctive flavor. Amontillado. Sometimes flor develops initially but later dies as the alcohol content increases or with age. Once the flor disappears, the wine begins to oxidize slowly. This combination of biological aging followed by oxidative aging creates a completely different style known as Amontillado. Amontillado is richer than Fino but lighter than Oloroso. Its color becomes amber, while its flavor develops attractive nutty notes with greater complexity. It beautifully bridges the gap between light and heavy sherries. The Solera system. One of the greatest secrets behind the consistent quality of sherry is the famous Solera system. Unlike ordinary wines that are bottled from a single vintage, sherry is produced by continuously blending wines of different ages. The Solera system consists of several rows of wooden barrels stacked on top of one another. The bottom row, known as the Solera, contains the oldest wine. The rows above are called criaderas, each containing progressively younger wines. Freshly fortified wine, known as añada, is added to the highest row. When bottling time arrives, only a portion of wine is removed from the oldest barrels in the Solera. These barrels are then replenished with wine from the row immediately above them. Each higher row is similarly refilled from the next younger row until finally the youngest wine is added to the topmost barrels. This gradual blending process is repeated year after year. Because wines of different ages are constantly mixed, every bottle maintains the same consistent quality, flavor, aroma, and style regardless of the vintage. The Solera system is therefore one of the most remarkable aging techniques used in the wine industry. Fining and final preparation. Before bottling, the wine undergoes a clarification process called fining. Traditionally, beaten egg whites were mixed into the wine. These proteins attracted suspended impurities, causing them to settle at the bottom of the barrel. The clear wine was then carefully transferred to another container, leaving the sediments behind. Depending on the style required, the wine may then be sweetened using Pedro Ximénez, PX, or Moscatel wines. Finally, additional neutral grape brandy is added to adjust the alcohol level, which generally ranges between 16% and 20%. Because consumers expect the same flavor every year, wines from several Solera systems are often blended together before bottling to maintain complete consistency. Types of sherry. Sherry is produced in several distinctive styles, each with its own appearance, flavor, aroma, and alcohol strength. 1. Fino. Fino is pale straw in color, light-bodied, delicate, and the driest style of sherry. Its alcohol content generally ranges from 15.5% to 16%. It is always served well chilled and is one of the world's finest aperitif wines. 2. Manzanilla. Manzanilla is considered the palest, lightest, and driest of all sherries. It is produced exclusively in the coastal town of Sanlúcar de Barrameda, where the sea breeze influences the aging process. This unique environment gives the wine a slightly salty character. Its alcohol content is similar to Fino. 3. Amontillado. Amontillado has an attractive amber color with rich nutty aromas. Its alcohol content ranges between 16.5% and 18%. Depending on personal preference, it may be served chilled, at room temperature, or over ice. 4. Oloroso. The Spanish word oloroso means fragrant. This style develops the richest aromas of all sherries because it matures entirely through oxidation. Oloroso is dark in color, full-bodied, bone-dry, and generally contains around 20% alcohol. 5. Amoroso. Amoroso is traditionally produced by sweetening high-quality Oloroso sherry. The result is a smooth, rich wine with a pleasant bittersweet finish. Because of its creamy texture, it is often referred to as cream sherry. 6. Palo Cortado. Palo Cortado is one of the rarest and most sought-after styles of sherry. It combines the delicate elegance of Amontillado with the richness and body of Oloroso. Its alcohol strength generally ranges between 18% and 21%. 7. Cream sherry. Cream sherry is produced by blending dry Oloroso with naturally sweet Pedro Ximénez or Moscatel wines. The result is a smooth, full-bodied, sweet wine that is especially popular as a dessert wine. Sherry shippers. The companies responsible for producing, exporting, and marketing sherry internationally are known as sherry shippers. Some of the world's most famous sherry producers include Croft, Bodegas Internacionales, Valdespino, Terry, Pedro Domecq, Lustau, Williams and Humbert, Antonio Barbadillo, Gonzalez Baez, Sandman, Duff Gordon, John Harvey and Sons, Zoilo Ruiz Mateos, Osborne. Sherry is one of the world's most historic and sophisticated fortified wines, celebrated for its exceptional diversity and unique production methods. From the vineyards of Jerez to the carefully controlled bodegas, every stage of its production reflects centuries of tradition. The development of floor yeast, the remarkable Solera aging system, and the wide range of styles, from the crisp dryness of Fino to the rich sweetness of cream sherry, make sherry unlike any other wine. Its consistency, complexity, and versatility have earned it a permanent place among the world's finest fortified wines, appreciated by wine lovers, sommeliers, and hospitality professionals across the globe. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.